Bell rings, get in the square circle, it's time. The Boxing Biz podcast is live. Call in and state your mind, but get checked if you're stepping out of line. Jab right hand combination. We're interviewing fighters from every nation. The phone lines are busy. Have some patience. Your 3 minutes are up. No more conversations. The Boxing Biz, where we handle our business. Handle your business. We handle our business. Where we handle our business. Sorry for the late start. We're working on that 7 a.m., 8 a.m. schedule here on the Boxing Biz podcast show. Welcome back. Bam! Give you that first shot to the gut right in the morning. Hopefully you're starting off the morning just right. Grabbing the kids, taking them to school, coffee, tea, and crumpets. Shout out to the UK. If you got some shaquilas, I hope I'm saying that right. Whatever it may be, we appreciate you starting your day here on the Boxing Biz. Doomatron activated. Doomatron is activated, man, and we got a couple of things to talk about this morning as the Grand Prix also is happening right now. So right now the WBC Grand Prix is streaming live right now at the moment. So if you guys are up trying to catch some boxing, you definitely could turn on Riyadh Season and tune into the WBC Grand Prix as it's happening right now. And, we're always in for a treat since you have a bunch of fighters that we really are not familiar with, but can become familiar with. And, you just never know when new rising stars are going to pop up and appear. Good matchup going on right now. And Toltayev versus Intu. And I'm thinking this is a Russian affair or anything that has to do with that terrain out there. Well, the last names tell the tale. Again, shout out to everybody tuning in. Facebook family, YouTube family, X family, IG family. That's right. We're streaming on IG. So, oh, my God. My man just hit him with a hammer fist real quick. Yo, turn into the Grand Prix, too. While we talk boxing this morning, obviously there's been a lot of funk, a lot of attention growing because of the dinner photo that we all saw with Turki Alalshikh and Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez having a little dinner. What's wrong with having a little dinner? See a lot of y'all going crazy with this picture. Fall back, small back. All right? Don't take it, run with it, and turn it into something else. You started off with a football. You ran off with a soccer ball. Fall back, small back. All right? And if y'all don't know what picture I'm talking about, for those that are, watching this morning visually, I'm going to go ahead and put it up. Right? It's worth taking a look at for those that haven't seen it either. And, you're having dinner. You're with Turki Big Bag Alalshikh. Come on, champ. Shout out to Turki. Turki, if you hear that name, it started here, all right, champ? Turki Big Bag Alalshikh. And he's big bag. I want to have dinner with the champions. Send them over. You know what I'm saying? Send over the golf cart through the palace to go pick them up at the room. Hell yeah, I'm having dinner. Doesn't matter. Now, what you guys are not seeing is that, a lot of you guys from the superficial side are looking at all this like, oh, look, they're having dinner. They're being buddy-buddy. What is all this? What is all that? Come on, bro. This is a sport. You want cats acting like animals out here? You know what I'm saying? Like, we'll worry about that, in the lead up. I'm going to tell you guys right now, there is going to be something going on between Canelo and Crawford. I know it. It's going to be something said that's going to turn everything around, and you guys are going to turn back and look at this picture like, oh, shit. Yeah, this was just a quiet storm. This is just a quiet storm, y'all. Look at your man right there. Turki Alalshikh, Crawford. I mean, come on.
having dinner at the palace. Hello there, Mike. Canelo, would you pass me the tea and crumpets? I don't know what they have in Saudi Arabia. Turk, this turkey is phenomenal. Oh, I quite agree, hermano. So, we're going to make a lot of money off this. That's right. Let us engage in conversation. We will be making sure that there's no Tom and Jerry fights going on there, fellas. Yeah, Tío Turkey, you don't have to worry about me. I come to fight. Oh, shit. Turki Alalshikh having a dinner with the champs. Not a big deal. You know, I would love to be, and I said this last night, if you guys didn't catch the collab show we did with Mario Munguia on the Infighting FX. But I'll mention it this morning if you didn't catch that. There's a lot going on in this picture, and I'll bring it back up to the screen too, because it's worth talking about the other feelings that you can get from something like this. I'll just put it up. Now imagine Turki Alalshikh, right? Sends Canelo and Terence Crawford that golf cart to go pick him up down the palace, right? They're having dinner with them. Imagine the energy, the eye to eye between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford. Imagine the eye to eye, knowing that they're going to go to war September 13th. Imagine that feeling. You could cut through that with a knife. That feeling is there. You know what I'm saying? Pass me the ketchup. Pass me, I don't know what they're eating there. Pass me the, what do they call that rich fish egg food? Like, I don't even know, beluga, caviar or whatever. Pass me the caviar, Terence. No, pásame el caviar, Terence. Sure, no problem. It's a cordial dinner. But I know that under it all, the amount of tension that was in that dinner, with knowing that they are going to be meeting September 13th and trying to take each other's heads off, it must have been crazy being in there. And you get a sense for a lot of things too, bro. You know what I'm saying? This dinner, I mean, they could get a sense of like what the feeling is, how they talking. You know what I'm saying? Did his voice crack when they asked him this question? Was he unsure? There was a lot of going on. You know, Turkey Big Bag Alalshikh, he's just observing. He's just observing and seeing it for what it is. But already you can see how much bigger Canelo is. Look at Canelo's arm, bro. My man Canelo's arm. And look at T-Bud. He look way bigger than him, bro. Shout out to everybody tuning in, man. Appreciate you guys tapping in. Make sure you hit that subscribe notification bell. Doesn't cost you a thing, and you help us out a lot here on the Boxing Biz. We do need your help to get the visibility up, and subscribing, hitting that notification bell, of course, telling a friend to telling a friend, and smash that like button. You know what I'm saying? Catch it with an uppercut. Hey, hey. And we appreciate it very, very much, right? Yeah, so the picture that took the boxing community by storm, you know, it's just the beginning. And I don't think that they'll be having much contact to Canelo and Crawford after these sort of like, you know, meetups. You know, this is just the grand arrivals and, you know, a dinner that was had, you know, just to kind of welcome the champions to Saudi Arabia. You know, my man Turkey, you know, Big Bag, making sure everybody's taken care of the right way. And, you know, treating the fighters the way this should be treated. So it's pretty cool. You know, I know there was other people present at this dinner, what we can see, right? is what they show us in the actual little clip. But if you guys can see right there by Canelo Alvarez's side, there's some hands there. And so there was other people around. There's another one by the side of Crawford too. So, you know, there was other people at the dinner. I'm pretty sure some of the promotional guys were there, managing. Who knows, even training camp. Eddie Reynoso was probably there. You know, you just never know who was actually there. But yeah, you know, I'm not going to harp on this too much. You know what I'm saying? They were having dinner. I mean, a little fancy dinner. You know, Crawford, would you pass me the tea? Sure, Turk. Canelo, do you want some more of this Wagyu? Hey, I do. It's better than the steaks I get in Mexico. Nah. Ah, man, I was having fun listening to y'all yesterday. Chop, dice this up. They're too buddy-buddy. They're too friendly. Man, if y'all don't shut up. They're freaking eating dinner. Probably one of the last times you're going to see them two together like that. You know what I mean? Besides, like, the press conferences and all that. Again, guys, you got the WBC Grand Prix going on also. You know, if you guys wanted to catch some boxing early in the morning as well, that is available. You know, I'm always promoting boxing champions. Shout out to Coach Rivera. Says, good morning, Dooms. The Doomatron, brother.
Doomatron activated.
We activated. Shout out to Coach Rivera, man. Hope you're starting off your day blessed. Coach Rivera also says, if he pop positive, he is going to blame Saudi me. Gah! The Saudi meat probably got the super boosters. Oh, no. You know, Big Bag, he gets the extra protein when he buys his meat. Excuse me. But, yeah, like I said this morning, I wasn't going to harp on it too much. But it was worth mentioning this picture and all the hubbub that, you know, some of y'all out there were talking about. And for the life of me, I don't know why. I guess people just want to talk about and put little narratives on there. Ain't no peace, trust me. That shit must have been uncomfortable as hell, having dinner. Having dinner with the guy that's going to break your jaw. Yeah, that's not a buddy-buddy dinner, bro. That's an uncomfortable dinner. And obviously, you're going to keep it cordial, right? You're not going to, you're going to keep it cordial. You're going to take it for what it is. Both T-Bud and Saul Canelo Alvarez are, well-seasoned champs. They know what it is. It's all a game. What are we at? What other things we were going to... Oh, yeah, another... cool thing to, I guess, put some light on was Zaquin Moses and Curmel Morton facing off. Guess they were I think they were at an event, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know exactly where they were. I think it was an event, and yeah, they met up. Give me a sec. Wow, hit the sneeze button on me. Jesus. Thank you, Lord. Apologies for that, guys. So, yeah, Zaquin Moses and Curmel Morton, which is like a super fight, bro. These guys fought each other in the amateurs. Zaquin got the best of Curmel in the amateurs, but, the evolution of a fighter. What you did for me today, might not matter what you do tomorrow. So, it was pretty cool to see them face off the way they did because, it's Marination Nation over here. These two kids ain't fighting each other no time soon. And eventually it can become a big fight, right? Like a Ryan Garcia and Rolly Romero, right? We love these narratives in boxing. And we've just seen the beginning of another one. And again, for those that are watching visually, I'm going to go ahead and share that video with you guys so that you can take a look. And for those that, are driving and listening on sound, I'll describe it the best I can. But it's simply just Zaquin Moses and Curmel Morton, with a bunch of their entourage buddies. And they met and they were talking shit to each other. Zaquin Moses kept saying he going to beat him up. Morton kept saying, I'm going to beat you up. And, Curmel Morton, man, he a little tank, bro. Curmel is a little tank, bro. The way he built, me, man, I'm looking at both these young men. I'm sizing them up. I'm like, let's see who working, who lifting, who strength training, who developing. And obviously Curmel has had a lot of, support. Rightfully earned, too, And, but the way they're developing him, man, he's a little tank, bro. And, Zaquin Moses is just as strong and just as skilled. And some might argue that because of that amateur wing, even more skilled. But, we develop differently in the pros. So let me just bring it up. See if I can. There we go. We're going to go ahead and bring it up, but just give me a second so I can play it right from the beginning for you guys. Okay, here we go. Hope you guys can see this. And let's see what we got going on here. I don't want to blow your guys' ears, Wow. There we go. All right, now that I won't blow your guys' ears out of your heads, if you can see it, you'll see it now. Let me play it. And Zaquin Moses like, Yeah, referring to that last loss you had to him. Curmel ain't really he's not wavering at all though. Yo, this whole belt to ass oh man, the way language changes from generation to generation. This is what I hear all the time now: belt to ass, belt to ass. Curmel telling Zaquin belt to ass, belt to ass. I think this is a nice little promotional little setup meet. Zaquin talking about you gonna fuck him up. Morton saying, I'm gonna stop you. We're gonna remember all this too. I'm gonna fuck you, I'm gonna stop you. Yo, we're seeing the beginning of a long road to a super fight right here. If nobody gets knocked out the box. A little bit of action there. Curmel Morton, Zaquin Moses have a meet, and it's apparently going viral in the boxing community. Again, guys, we love the narratives. We love the stories, bro. We love the beef. And, we've had so many of them, and they've always kind of made their way into a super fight, Mentions like, Rolly Ryan. There's some other beefs that are slipping my mind right now, but the Rolly Ryan is one of them, obviously, the latest of the fights that came to be. And that are beefs from the amateurs. Devin, too, also, had beef with Ryan, and that became what it was, So there's a storyline, bro, and you gotta love the storyline. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody tapping in, man, in the early morning. You know, we get the early morning roll work here at the Boxing Biz. Make sure you tap that subscribe button. Matter of fact, smash. You know what I mean? And hit the notification bell so you guys know every time we go live, we're here talking boxing. Shout out to all the boxing scholars out there and everyone else tuning in on all the platforms, Facebook, YouTube, X, IG. Talking boxing this early morning. Canelo and Crawford break bread. Some of y'all were harping. You need to buddy. Come on, man. Awkward ass dinner. You know, they were looking at each other like sizing each other up. I know when I'm going to fight somebody, especially in the amateurs, I mean, we didn't get a chance to actually get to meet who we're fighting. The pros get all that luxury. Amateurs, we don't know who the heck we fighting. You know what I'm saying? You could be fighting a fucking superhuman and you wouldn't even know and shit. You step in the ring as this superhuman in front of you. But, yeah, you know, you're getting an opportunity to see each other. And again, when you get to the amateur fight, right? Fight day, you got to weigh in fight day. And you end up seeing your opponent. You feel me? Like, and everybody knows. It's not like the pros where everybody got their own personal locker. Everybody goes to their lock. Nah, champ. You in these gyms across the state, country, or whatever, and you're going to put on your gloves wherever you can, champ. You're going to get wrapped up wherever you can. And shout out to Jamal McCann in the building. Jamal says, I think we are 5 years away from this fight. I look forward to those young lions sharing the ring. Wow, 5 years, huh, champ? 5 years, yeah? How young are they? You know what I mean? 5 years. I could, you know what? That's not that bad of a time. You know, 5 years. You got 2 fights per year, maybe 3. You know, they start dialing down the amount of fights you're having really to 2, depending on, you know, how they're trying to bring you along. But if you're doing 2-3 fights in 5 years, that's 15 fights. Yeah, that definitely can come to be. Good look on the timeline there, Jamal. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, the amateurs are crazy. You know, as far as, like, getting to see somebody, knowing your opponent. You know, you end up just kind of like, sometimes you won't even see your opponent until you're in the ring. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're trying to, like, if you're having an amateur fight, of course you want to see your opponent. You know what I'm saying? You want to see who it is. What's up? Get a little bit of size up. You know, even though your coach is going to be like, that don't matter. Shout out to Coach Hawk. That don't matter. That don't matter. But, you know what I mean? When you're a pro, you get to see, you know. And I think that adds a little bit more to, like, I guess the anxiety. Not the anxiety. Is that the right word? It's more like that waiting time, you know, to fight. You just want it over with at a certain point. You know what I mean? You've been training your ass off. You've been thinking about this dude. You're going to beat him up. You know, he might beat you up. And you just want to get it done. So, you know, when these pros kind of are around each other, press conferences, face-offs, believe it or not, a lot of energy is being expended, emotional energy. You know what I'm saying? That's something that you got to train for too. A lot of people don't realize that. You know, that brings it out of you. Obviously, nothing matters more than what you do in that ring. You know, you could act a certain way outside the ring. You got certain cats that are great talkers, really you know, colorful out there promoting the fight, but you know, they can't muster up that dub in the ring. So it doesn't really matter. But, you know, there's just some that actually can maneuver like that, right? And, again, shout out to everybody tuning in. We just showed the video of Zaquin Moses and Curmel Morton face-off. 2 young lions, like my man Jamal said, that might be, you know, facing each other in 5 years. And who knows if it'll take more or less, but sounds about right in that career that they have right now. I mean, they're still early in their careers, but we know how things develop, and these guys are solid fighters, you know. It's not like they're going to be going in and fighting too many journeymen, right? I guess right now the people that they're fighting is just to kind of get their feet wet. Well, more Zaquin too. Curmel's already been fighting a lot of dudes. I don't know how many Zaquin has, but Curmel did turn pro first. Shout out to my man Forrith in the building. Damn. My man say, yo, WSG. I don't know what WSG means. You know what I'm saying, champ? It's a whole bunch of new acronyms I got to get savvy to or privy to. But shout out to you, champy. And, of course, we had that Brian Norman Jr. win as of late. You know, sending out shockwaves throughout the 147 and 154 division, right? We don't know where to go. And the last thing Brian Norman Jr. said was, you already know when B. Norman the Storm come through, you just pick up your boots and run. Now, we know that was a hit, you know, to Jaron Ennis. And, you know, he's clamoring. Brian Norman is really clamoring out there to be able to fight a guy like Jaron Ennis. Now, Jaron Ennis, you know, he has those titles, IBF, I believe, and WBO. And where's he going? You know what I'm saying? And WBA, excuse me. Listen, we could honestly say Jaron is already gone. 147 is gone. All right. IBF, WBA, those are getting given up, right? Rolando Romero's still there. So if he stays, I'm assuming that he's going to stick with that belt, right? Forrith, it means what's good. Champ! I won't forget that one, right? He says, I am on my way to the gym right now. Thought I'll tune in. Ha! Champ, tune in with us, man. Go hit the bag. Shadow box. You know what I'm saying? Work on your combination. Work on your 1-2, 1-2-1. You know what I'm saying? 1-2-3. You know what I mean? Work on your hooks, your uppercuts, everything. You know what I mean? Most importantly, your feet. Make sure you're using your feet, champ. Excuse me. I turned into my other self right now real quick. Let me drink some water, yo. Sorry about that. Got raspy. Got raspy rasp. But yeah, man. Have a good day at the gym. Likewise for everybody, man, that's up early in the morning getting shit done. And thanks for tuning in with us. So, yeah, Jaron Ennis, he's going to have to move up, obviously, into the 154 division. And, you know, Sergio Mora, as of late, was really pushing for Jaron Ennis to step into a fight with Israel Madrimov and saying that if he beats him, that he would definitely be sending a statement to that division. You know, guys going straight into big fights, you know, champions like Jaron Ennis is a little more common, right? And of course, you know, he's dangerous, Jaron Ennis, so also a dangerous fight for any of those guys at 154. However, it's Israel Madrimov just a little too much, you know, jumping into the 154, or is it the perfect opponent to also get that barometer read, right? We all know that fighters sometimes have these common opponents, especially the champs or the people coming up behind the champs that want to take the champs' hardware. These common opponents give us a good read, right? And Israel Madrimov is still legit in his prime, you know? He lost to Terence, but he's in his prime. So if you take a look at that, you know, and you see the movement, the feet, the Madrimov super athletic, and you put him in there with a guy like Jaron Ennis, this is going to be a good read, right? Is Israel Madrimov inclined to take a fight with Jaron Ennis? Don't know, but you know, usually when you want to jump up from that division as a champion, you want a championship shot. But you know, the guys that you got at the top, especially where you're where you're dropping the belt, which is WBA and IBF. You got champions. Well, you got Jermell Charlo, champion in recess. Do we want to see a Jermell Charlo versus Jaron Ennis? I don't think we get something like that. Jermell Charlo, I feel like being out so long, won't jump back into a fight like that. It's just too soon. And definitely a fight with what my man's name is, Ennis Teles, which holds the interim in that sanctioning body. I'm guessing that could probably be the one that happens. Terence Crawford, he has a big fight coming up. So it also matters what these sanctioning bodies are going to do, right? If they're pushing these Mandos or these unifications, right? So I don't want to see 3 names on top of the fucking sanctioning body. That shit gets me crazy, bro. When I see these interim, champion in recess, champion down the block, champion on the roof, champion on the sidewalk. Like, what the fuck? Been doing this boxing shit for so long. I still look at this shit like it's some fucking geometry, calculus type of shit. Yeah, so, moving up through those, through those sanctioning bodies where he already holds a belt, Ennis could possibly get a championship fight if, those guys at the top are available. Bakr Murtasaliev is a dangerous fight, bro. I believe in Jaron Ennis' skills. Absolutely, and I'd probably pick him every time with these guys up top, except for Terence, right? That's a super fight. I don't think that happens anyway. But Bakr Murtasaliev, I got it. That's the fight that, can definitely send shockwaves to, and, let the boxing world know that, he's more than ready for the 154. And, stylistically, if you really think about Israel Madrimov and Bakram, I think Israel's probably a little more dangerous in the sense of the movement that Israel has. I think Bakram, what he has also, great boxing, great Russian style, but I think with him is more power that you have to worry about, right? Not so much the movement. And I just think that Israel Madrimov has it packed up a little better. I mean, look, he lost to Terence, guys, but it's not like the guy isn't a super phenomenal fighter. The dude's a phenomenal fighter, and just lost to a great champion. So, Sergio saying that Israel Madrimov would send shockwaves. Yeah, definitely, but a very hard fight without any hardware reward. So it all goes back to what Jaron Ennis' team and promoter are really trying to do, with Jaron and setting up these fights. It's going to be interesting, though, to see what develops as the landscape changes. I mean, we could talk about other fights. I remember we were entertaining last night, maybe a fight with, like, Erickson Lubin, but I don't think that's a fight that, Lubin is running to. This is all money presented, too. What kind of money they got going on. Excuse me. Go back to the chatty patty, to the bros. What we got going on here? For Rith says, yo, check out Nishant Dev. He is upcoming boxer from India. Check his latest fight against Silva. Yeah, my brother. Matter of fact, I've been actually really big on Nishant, man. Good kid representing India. He the ability to tap into $1 billion market. India really gets behind their champions and their people in whatever endeavor. You know what I'm saying? If one of their people are doing it big, they get behind them. So shout out to India, man, doing it big right now with Nishant Dev. And I know you guys got another fighter in India, but I think this boxer I've seen in I think Misfit Boxings or one of those YouTuber leagues. Maybe you could tell me who that is for Rith, but besides him, yeah, Nishant Dev is the new blood. And yeah, we're gonna be seeing some good things from him, man. He has a good amateur background pedigree, so he has all the right, ingredients that are in his pot to make him a great star, bro. Shout out to Nishant Dev. Shout out to Forrith for shouting out his countrymen. Forrith says Josue Silva versus Nishantev. Yeah. Definitely gonna. You know what? I think I missed that one. I think his debut is the one that I saw. I think with Josue Silva he went all rounds. No. Excuse me. Jamal McCann in the building. Tapping in again, says for real, I'd rather him come straight into a fight. Bakram, go straight for the belts. That would make the Virgil fight huge. Yeah, that would make the Virgil fight huge. It's huge. Yeah, Virgil Ortiz, bro. You know, that's the one we've been kind of entertaining that for a little bit too, bro. Jamal McCann says Madrimov is coming off 2 losses, and Boots won't get the proper credit for the fight, in my opinion. Oh shit! You know what? I did kind of slip my mind, bro. Madrimov has 2 losses. Damn. Kind of forgot about that. I thought he only lost to Crawford, dude. Wow. Call me lost in the sauce, Dooms. Yeah. I know he just fought somebody too. Virgil Ortiz, what an idiot. Wah, 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 wah. Bro, between boxing, MMA, and all the other shit that that I entertain my mind with, bro. Fuck. Shout out to Jamal. My bad, brother. Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. Yeah, it would make that fight common opponent whole thing. What a wah, 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 wah. Damn, listen, stay tuned too. I'm getting my soundboard up. You know, I'm the king of the soundboards out here. Everybody's soundboard out there, you know where you got it. Or you self-proclaimed soundboard kings. Wait till I get my soundboard back. I've been filling it up. Software gets outdated, so all my old sound bites and shit literally got frozen. Like, I can't use the soundboard. Apple canceled that app and a bunch of shit. So now I'm transferring everything over. But I'll be back, Jamal. Wah, 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 wah. Yeah. So, yeah, Madrimov, man. Bro, make that fight crazy. Make that fight very, very interesting. And Jaron's about the shits, man. Jaron, like, you got to put on 3 different hats, right? On how you want to move, right? And how we perceive these things. I put on my fighter hat. I see the trajectory of the career going one way. I put on the promoter hat. I'm seeing certain things, right, that might not be done because of, protecting investment or, better opportunities. And then, you got everybody in between, the managing. How could this career go? But Jaron Ennis, being who he is, shout out to Bozy, Coach Bozy, and being who he is, I believe that, they would take a fight like that from the rip. Now, whether or not Eddie, is inclined to do something like that is up to him. And last I checked, I think Madrimov is on the same side of the fence, no? As Madrimov is with the he's with Eddie. Jaron is with Eddie, so that would be a easier match to make if a Bakram is not available, right? But Bakram is the guy. And then Fundura. I know Fundura got some action coming, right? So, and him and Virgil holding that title. Fundura's fighting Tim Tszyu again, no? I think so, yeah. Yeah, he's fighting Tim Tszyu again, so I mean, whatever develops out of that. And it's crazy because you got Fundura, Tim Tszyu fighting. And Sebastian has that WBC, Virgil as well. It's an interim. So what goes on there? Sebastian Fundura. Okay, so Sebastian Fundura versus Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu, whichever of the 2 win, then take on Virgil Ortiz. Or we're looking at maybe the winner of Sebastian Fundora and Tim Tszyu take on Sergey Boyacek. And then Boyacek, I guess, takes on either Sebastian if he wins or Virgil. It's just, it looks kind of weird. And look, now, these sometimes these freaking rankings are not updated too. I got to check the WBC actual rankings right now just to make sure that this is actually it. Because you got Sergey Boyacek #1 right now. And then you got Fundora and Virgil as interims. And then you got Fundora in there with Tim Tszyu next. So I just want to see how that works out. Yeah, so they got the champions. You got the ratings. Male, heavy cruiser. There we go. I like WBC's page too. Got a nice little setup here. So my man Super Welter. There we go. Oh, so they only give me the champs? Get out of here. Get out of here. All right. Not going to get too many. I'm not going to be able to look at too many things there. So, yeah, so where do we go with this, right? Where do we go with this? And when does Jaron Ennis get a fight? You know, you don't want to be inactive for too long. And Jaron Ennis, I think the last fight was in a few months ago. Let's see. Yeah. So April. Okay. April, May, June, July. Yeah, we need Jaron Ennis in the ring. Maybe September, October. You know, April, May, June, July, August. In August, he'll be out of the ring 4 months. Leave us with September, October, November, December. 4 months left after that. So we got to look at the timing, y'all, when we're asking for these fights too, man. We got to look at the timing to see what can happen. So if Jaron Ennis can definitely jump into a fight with Israel. And if you look at Israel also has been out of the ring for a little bit and has enough time to make that fight happen, right? Last fight was in February with Virgil. So, okay. That fight could possibly, but those are some hard back-to-back fights for Israel, man. I don't know, man. Israel fought fucking Terence, then Virgil, and now he's going to fight Jaron? Damn. Remember, he lost the last two, bro, to Terence and Virgil. So I don't think that that's the way to bring up an Israel Madrimov. That's not right. That's not moving the chess piece the right way. I'm going to have to scratch that, Jamal. I don't think that's happening. Terence Crawford, Virgil Ortiz, then throw him in there with a Jaron Ennis. You're killing them, Smalls. You're killing them. You know what I mean? It's just too many hard fights back to back. And what are you doing to him? You know, you gotta bring up that confidence. Nah, that's not happening, Champy. Yeah, Israel Madrimov, Jaron Ennis, not happening next. I could almost guarantee it, but I won't, right? Because if not, I'll get nailed. No, not happening, champ. They're not doing that to Israel, giving them another hard shot. So scratch Israel off. Who we got next? If it ain't the top champions, look at the top 5. Sergey Boyacek. Yo, Sergey Boyacek is a freaking problem, bro. Problem for any of these guys. Xander Zayas obviously has some business to handle with George Garcia. So there you go, man. Jaron Ennis can come up, fight Backram, right? And then fight the winner of Sebastian and the winner of Sebastian and Tim Tszyu. I just want to know what's happening with this title. That's really what I want to know. What's happening with this title that is being held by Fundora and Virgil Ortiz? Like, what happens, right? Fundora loses, Virgil stays with the title, like, or now it's Virgil versus Tim Tszyu. It's just a little messy. A little messy over here. I don't know where they're going with this. Yep. But yeah, I just don't see what's happening. Sebastian loses to Tszyu, or vice versa. So if Sebastian loses, obviously he's giving up the interim, right, to Tszyu. Then maybe Tszyu and Virgil Ortiz can get it in, right? And then you got Suri Boachak. So there's a lot going on in the WBC. I don't know if Jaron can go that route. I think more so the WBO. Terence Crawford, also interim. Xander Zayas, George, and then, yeah, that's going to get given up. Maybe Xander Zayas and George Garcia Perez fight that out, right? Terence vacates or whatever. He's an interim, right? Vacant. So Xander Zayas and George Garcia fight for that vacant. And then Jaron Ennis can make his way into a bout with Xander Zayas. I mean, it's a crazy fight. It's a hard fight. But Xander Zayas, in my opinion, right, Xander Zayas is right there at the WBO. He's going to be champ. Almost guaranteed. Guarantee it. He's going to be in there. Now, whether or not Terence Crawford decides to come back down, right? Or he's given those, I mean, it says vacant. Vacant Terence Crawford interim champion. So, yeah, Xander Zayas, too, can be in there in those talks, depending on what happens with George Garcia Perez. So there's a couple of ways that this could turn out for Jaron Ennis moving up. And again, it's just a matter of these top guys also willing to take on a big challenge, you know. The boxing fans, as of late, we've really been asking for the fights that we want to see. We don't want to see these, like, intermediate touch-up fights, really, that really need not to happen. So top 5 is a must to give us some good action. You know what I mean? Anything less than that, I just don't see it. I think somebody said Keith Thurman. I don't think Keith is coming into a fight with a Jaron Ennis, man. Even though I love the way Keith handled old boy in Australia, the young boy, beat the brakes off of him. But yeah, looking at it now, yeah, Israel Madrimov is just not it. It's crazy because I was really holding on to that when my man Jamal mentioned it. It seemed like it was the right way to go, right? Because the narrative speaks. Jamal McCann says, yeah, that's career suicide for Madrimov. You know what's suicide? You can't win. Yeah, man, it's one of those types of fights, bro. Not an easy fight for Madrimov, and 2 losses. We don't need a third one for Izzy. If I'm promoter, I'm not moving you that way, champ. I'm not going to do you dirty like that. And plus, they're both on the same side of, what is it? Same side with Eddie Matchroom. So, if I'm Eddie, I'm not doing that. Or maybe I am, right? Just to keep it on our side, right? That's the cool thing about, keeping the championship belts on your side. PBC's done it. I mean, Top Rank has done it. You pit your fighters against your own stable, right? And you're able to kind of keep those sanctioning bodies within your own organization and working with them, right? So that could be something also that goes out. I know I had something else here for you guys. I mean, besides Israel Madrimov, you got Tszyu. We mentioned Erickson Lubin as a possible opponent, but we don't know if that's something that the Lubin camp would even take. Brian Mendoza. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Brian. Brian Mendoza's in there. Okay. I don't know if he's highly ranked or even ranked at all for 154, my friend. So I would have to check and see if that's something that could even be possible. He don't look ranked. Mendoza, still a good fight, entry fight to that division, right? Call him La Bala. All right, Brian Mendoza, I guess you can do something like that. You know, he lost to Tszyu. He lost to Boychuk. And look, if you were in the ring with Boychuk for 12 rounds, you got some metal to you. Because Boychuk, man, you give him a little bit, he'll take it all, and he'll get you out of there real quick. So, you know, maybe a fight like that, but it does nothing, you know? It does nothing but bring him and welcome him into the actual division. But as far as positioning, anything else like that, you're just not. It's not doing much for him, but acclimating him to the 154. And honestly, if I'm Jaron Ennis and my body's already screaming, right, screaming to get out of that 147 division, then that means that I'm kind of ready for that division, right? I've been literally probably sacrificing so much to make the 147 that I'm actually going to be going up and being in a way better position of advantage, right? So if I was already stressing to make that 147, why take a touch-up fight? I don't need no touch-up fight. I don't need a touch-up fight to go up to 154. I'm already knocking guys out and down in sparring. They weigh that amount. My body's screaming already to go 154, so why do I need to acclimate really, right? I mean, you got 7 pounds there. But if your body's screaming to go to that 154, I don't see too much. Now, if you're going from like a 147 straight to 160, those are two weight divisions. And I'm pretty sure his body wouldn't be screaming to go to 160. So then, okay, take that acclimation fight. But right now, champ, Jaron Ennis, he's in there. You know what I mean? He's in there with being comfortable at 154. Damn! Shout out to Tycho TV. Toma! He's in the building. Says Boots been taking light touches his whole career. Damn. The bro said he been taking light touches. Yo, Tycho, but see, you want to get at Jaron for taking light touches, but you ain't trying to talk about how he was getting avoided. You ain't trying to talk about how every time an offer was sent out or a challenge was sent out by the Ennis camp that everybody wasn't turning it down. You act like Jaron Ennis's 30-something fights or whatever it is weren't mostly, just guys that were willing to fight. So, as far as soft touches, man, shit. He hasn't been taking soft touches. And it's like Terence, bro. Terence Crawford, you know what I mean? When he fought guys like Mean Machine and other guys, it was like, oh, those guys are not too good. But I mean, look, Stanionis, as he's a game guy. It's just Jaron Ennis makes them look like nothing. Game guy. David Evanesian. I mean, come on. David Evanesian has given a lot of guys problems, man. David Evanesian has given a lot of guys problems. Obviously, he got knocked out by Terence. In the top guys, he kind of falls short, right? But we're talking about legend guys like Terence Crawford. So, it's not that we give him the super pass, but, he fought Kavalaskas too, lost to him, right? He's a monster. He got knocked out, though. This guy's fought everybody. He's been fighting for a long time. Obviously, an older dude. A lot of y'all could just start talking mad shit. He's old, boxing age old. And you can start just getting at him like that, but still a skilled fighter. Tycho TV said, let's see some smoke. That's what I'm talking about. Tycho TV said, it's the Boxing Biz. He didn't bring a hit to the table. He ain't bring shit to the table. Damn. Tycho TV said, David Avanesian. Oh, my God. Well, there ain't. Jamal McCann says, well, there aren't any light touches at 154. All dogs up there. Yeah, it's pretty filled up there at the 154, with the dogs. But let me see if I can find somebody else. All right. I can't find too many. You lucky, Tycho. I mean, we could go back. I mean, we could give him a Royman Villa. El Flaco de Oro. I get what you're saying, bro. Listen, the guys that were willing to fight him were guys that were willing to take a payday, right, to step in there with a monster like him. So, you know, he handled guys the way he was supposed to. Sergey, I remember Sergey Lipinets too, handled him. Soft touches. They all been soft touches because they can't hang with my boy. You know what I mean? We didn't know who the hell Karen Shujatasayan from Ukraine was. But, you know, he lasted all 12 rounds. So soft touches, yeah, you might can say so. And Mike can get away with it too, Tycho. You know? You might can get away with it, right? Because there's no real solid, like, super solid guy there. Besides, you know, Stan Onis, who, you know, you can't really rag on too much. You know what I mean? He's a legit dude and fought legit guys. Legit wins, right? But him too. I can't clamor too much about standing on this, right? He's just been winning, and he held that position with the title for a little bit and was able to get a big fight with him. But I get it. You know what, Tycho, man? All right. He hasn't had the one yet. I'll agree. He hasn't had the one yet, right? That one. Even though he had a problem in one of the, I think it was, who did he go to 12? What was it? With this Chuck Kadazian guy that he had a little bit of issues with. I know it was one of these guys that he had a little bit of issue with. We gave him a little bit of shit, but nah. Tycho TV says the resume is nasty work. See, now I'm going to go with, like, you want some funny style shit. You know what I'm saying? Why you got to be nasty work, chap? Damn. Yo, y'all forgot? They was running from Jaron Ennis, bro. This resume ain't his work. It's nasty work on the people that ain't trying to fight him. Nasty work would have been just sitting around not fighting. Shit. Nobody want to fight me? Man, give me a couple of cans. Fucking kick them down the road. Pay me. What do you expect these guys to do? Just sit around? Hell no. Tycho TV says, I mess with Boots, but we got to keep it a bean. Yeah, we got to keep it a frijol right now, bro. And I'm keeping it a frijol right now with you, bro. It's not just his work. You digs? You know what I'm saying? I ain't got a shovel, but I can dig it. Jamal McCann says, Tycho, we can do that to almost everyone's resume in boxing who's coming up. See, now we getting into our boxing scholar mode right now. You know what I mean? My man Tycho TV. I'm gonna put both of y'all in the phone booth. That's it. I'm gonna put both of you in the phone booth. Y'all gonna have to duke it out. You heard? Y'all gonna have to duke it out, man. That's it. Tycho TV, Jamal McCann, y'all going in the booth. All right, Tycho TV, Jamal McCann are going to be fighting it out in the booth. I'll keep y'all posted on the chat. If you guys want to come on, right, live and, state your piece and shit, well, guess what? There's a link in the chat from StreamYard that you can click on and come right on. And if you didn't know, you can actually tap in with us on Discord and X, right? Just follow us on the Boxing Biz on X and on Discord, and we'll get you right in there, right? Coach Rivera on the return says, it bothers me when they say soft touch. Try one of those soft touch in sparring. Bet you wouldn't be the beginning of a warm-up for them. Better to say he hasn't faced opposition around this level. Damn, yo. And that's the coach in you, Rivera. That's the coach in you, champ. We know what we see, bro. Ain't no soft touches. even though I'm saying no way for Brian Mendoza, but like, you know, Brian Mendoza could show up to fight for as long as he lasts. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna go ahead and tell everybody, yeah, he's gonna fight him or he's gonna have a close fight. He's not having a close fight, not at all. Coach Rivera says, I don't think Zayas is in that level yet. But this is what I'm saying, bro. Like, when are we gonna put Zayas on that level? Like, I know you guys, fell in love with the young babyface kid. You know what I'm saying? Coming up, Puerto Rico, stand up. You feel me? Isla del Encanto and all that. He's repping. And he's beating the shit out of these guys. What do you mean he's not ready? Like, when is a guy like Xander Zayas, with the type of amateur background that he has, when is he gonna be ready? When are you guys gonna say he's ready? Cause that little baby face he got ain't going nowhere. He gonna look like that until he's 60. All right, champ. So when is Xander Zayas gonna be ready for something like that? Cause right now he's right there. He's number one spot. WBO. So how is he not ready if he's right there in the number one spot, bro? He ready to be champ. You ask Xander right now, are you ready? He gonna be like, I was ready yesterday. I was ready yesterday. 21 fights, 13 knockouts. He's young. I mean, he came in real young. And that's what I think that a lot of you guys are probably still holding on to that baby face, but shit. That boy's, he's grown into himself, bro. And he could go up, too, man. He could go up. I'm telling you. He can go up. He's 154 right now, but he can go up. He can go up to 160. That frame that kid carries, and he's 22. Now, last time I checked, according to science, he stopped growing like at 25, and then, other things continue to develop to your 30. But I think physically, yeah, he's at his peak, man. He's going into he's grown into his peak, and he's fought 10-round fights. He's fought 10-round fights. Obviously, only took the 10 rounds with Patrick Teixeira. The whole 10 rounds, but he's fought 10 rounds. He knows what it is to be in there 10 rounds. He needs that championship fight, bro. I mean, he fought Damian Sosa, El Samurai. So maybe you guys might have a point here, right? Developing him a little bit more, but he could develop as a champion, bro. He could develop as a champion. Coach Rivera says the Norman fight, it can still happen in a catch weight. With Zayas? Damn, shout out to the homie in the building. Omar Moon says Zayas hasn't done anything yet, kid. Hasn't beaten no one. Not even top 20. Vargas Jr. would do him. Damn. And shit, Omar, I don't know about he hasn't. Of course he hasn't done anything. Man, he's fresh. Zaquin Moses is fresh right now, bro. Zaquin got what, like 2 fights? All the hubbub, with him and Morton, it's about, that backstory, that narrative, really that, that's, and of course, Zaquin Moses, obviously being Shakur Stevenson's little cousin, a little bro, you know what I mean? And shout out to Walil Moses, which is grandpa. And, he has a little bit of that attention, rubbing off on him from the camp that he has. Yeah, 4 fights, man. 4 fights. 4 fights, entry-level joints, bro. Stop hating, Omar. But if you're talking about Emiliano Vargas Jr., then okay. I can agree with something like that. Because don't get me started with, top guys, like top young fighters right now. Emiliano Vargas Jr. I mean, the whole Vargas brothers are doing good. They all bringing something to the table too. Not just in the fight game, God bless those boys because they got a nice little trifecta thing going. Shout out to Fernando Sr., the champ. tap in with them on social media every now and then. Shout out to Bobby Angsueco, who says hello. Well, hello to you too, Champy. Thank you for stopping by here on the Boxing Biz podcast show. Cheer! And starting your day with us. You know, we get our morning run-in, road work early in the morning. And, you know, we're trying to get it together, guys. You know, schedule starts in the morning, between 7 and 8 we start. And, again, we're developing the schedule and locking it in. So appreciate you guys tuning in with me because it keeps me coming back, right? Getting up super early, getting the shows ready, and making it an effort, right, to be here for you guys and talk this boxing talk, man, and kick it. Let's continue down the line. And, Zayas hasn't done anything yet. Oh, shit, Omar, my bad. Totally fumbled that one. I thought you were talking about Zaquin. You said Zayas hasn't done anything yet. Hasn't beaten no one. Okay, I'm about to revert now, bro. See, man, I haven't had my coffee yet. That's what it is. But let me speak on that, bro. You mean Zayas hasn't done nothing, bro? He's been fighting the guys they put in front of him. He's been fighting the guys they put in front of him, bro, and they've been developing him the right way too, bro. 22 years old. 22 years old and fighting the guys that he needs to fight. So, yeah. Maybe a fight like like the one that's up in line for him next would put him in that view, right? You want to look at him as somebody that has done something. He's fighting George Garcia Perez, and you probably won't say that that's something, but he got there. So now he needs to develop as a champion. You know, some guys make it like that, bro. You know, they fight, guys that you might not think of too much of, and they get to the top somewhere or one another. Guys get injured, titles get vacated. Everybody's road is different, man. And Xander Zayas is at the top. He's beating the guys that you put in front of him. Maybe some of them you would have thought like, hey, he should have knocked them out, but that all goes with the development, and there he is now. So you want him to further develop? He's going to have to sink or swim and develop as a champion. No way around it. Well, you're going to give up your spot? You're going to give up the opportunity? Ain't none of that. Tycho TV said he beat Morton in the amateurs, didn't he? Yeah, he beat him in the amateurs. And that's where all the beef is coming from. But like I mentioned before, Curmel is a little tank. Boy's shoulders round as hell. Neck look crazy. Look like a little Mike Tyson. Yeah, that kid, again, we don't know what happens down the line. My man Jamal hitting the prediction 5 years from now. So maybe that'll come to fruition in a good timeline, right? I'd like to see that fight. We love the narratives. Bobby Angsueco says Canelo versus Crawford, an over-glorified mismatch. Damn. So what, you don't like that fight at all? You don't like it at all, man, Bobby? Come on, champion. You got to want it a little bit. I don't think... Look, I should put out a poll too, man. I'll put out a poll on the YouTube channel because y'all know that I could put up the poll that way. But, yeah, I just was looking at them again. I should put up a poll. I should. I want to hear what the people are saying, right? Because Canelo Crawford, again, your mans in them was having that nice dinner. We'll go back to having nice dinner. Bobby Unesco, what do you think about that dinner, Bobby? Since you're saying it's an over-glorified mismatch, who do you got? Because, a lot of people are talking about that Crawford's the guy. So, and I'm not saying he can't be the guy. I'm just not sure if he could beat the guy. All right. I'll show the dinner table again. I don't think you guys see how much bigger Canelo is, bro. He's sitting at the table. Canelo's sitting at the table like he just ate 5 turkey legs. chin wide as hell, shoulder wide as hell. I'm going to have to show you again. If anybody missed out on the lovely dinner that Turki Big Bag Alalshikh was having, Coach Rivera says Boots can face a Conwell, Lubin, or Brian Mendoza to start ranking up. They are in the top 15 overall. Yeah, but they're a different sanctioning body, you know. Of course, you know, you could probably make those matches happen across sanctioning bodies, of course. I'm just looking at where he's at right there. He's at right there at the finish line, you know. So fighting Garcia Perez, and then he's there for that interim or that vacant title. So that's why I'm saying that way, you know. And honestly, bro, Coach, I got to go back and see Conwell, because I thought Conwell had only lost once, and then I'm seeing he has 2 losses, man. I didn't get to see that last fight, man. I don't know, I don't know how he lost, man. Charles Conwell, and again, it's nothing to clamor about, but, we all know about the time that, he took out, I think it was the Russian fighter, right? He took him out, man. Rest in peace. I think Conwell didn't fight for a while after that. Fucking sad. You kill somebody in the ring, and it's not easy to live with, bro. But Charles, I mean, when you see him in there, he's just wailing on cats, wailing. So he lost to the guy that Zayas is fighting. So, Coach, like, we gotta. This is how it happens, right? You know what I mean? This is how it usually happens. So it's like George Garcia Perez, right? Split decision loss for Conwell. But now George Garcia, has put himself in number 1 position where Xander Zayas lies, WBO. So you could kind of say, right, if Xander beats George, then he could beat a Conwell, right? That's how we like to do it. Lubin, like I said, Lubin's in the IBF, and that's where he's at. Can something like that happen? Of course. It's just got to be the right thing, but I'm pretty sure Zayas wants that title. He's right there. He's right there. Yeah. Ranking up to 15 overall. Omar Moon says Emmy versus Morton will be the biggest fight in boxing like 10 years from now. You're talking about Emiliano, right? And that's Emiliano Vargas. Or which Vargas? There's a lot of Vargases, champ. So, when you were talking about Vargas Jr. up here, I don't know which Vargas Jr. you were talking about, right? Who he has to fight. You got to give me the first names, too, because I'd be out of it, all right? Thought you were talking about Emiliano Vargas versus Morton. I don't know if they're in the same weight division. Yeah, Emiliano Vargas, guys, dangerous, bro. Dangerous. If you guys don't know who I'm talking about, Emiliano El General. Shout out to the Vargas dynasty, bro. But killing them out there. Love what I'm seeing from Emiliano. A lot of discipline, good boxing, and I'm pretty sure he's been in there with a few people in the sparring tales of the tape, right? Okay. Shout out to my man Bobby Onsueco, came back around, said Crawford is in the right place at the right time. Win, lose, or draw, Crawford will be paid $50 million. Yeah, big bag Turkey, giving out the big bags. And it's not a mismatch, honestly. It's not a super mismatch. Like super mismatch? Nah. Disadvantages? Yes. Crawford does have advantages in this fight as well. So I don't think it's a total mismatch on this one. Tycho TV says Vargas does a good job at staying active. Hell yeah, bro. He's down in Mexico, catching fights. He stays active, and you know how important that is. You got to stay active, dude, especially when you're coming up young. The discipline, it's so important, man, to have that locked in, man, as a young fighter, especially since there's so many other things that can take your time and your attention. So staying active is huge. They're doing a great job with him, bro. I'm telling you. We're going to see him in there with some top guys very soon. Just never know what kind of, minor title he could probably get. And, again, all these young fighters, Morton, Zaquin, these are the new blood coming up behind the Tszyu, the Shakurs, the Devons. You got the new blood coming in now, right? A lot of young fighters that we're going to start to see develop, like we saw Shakur, like we saw Devin, like we saw all the other fighters that are in that four horsemen category. You got now the young blood coming through, and I think the going back to the WBC Grand Prix, looks like it's still going on too. Shout out to the WBC for this too, bro. A lot of action going on. Again, shout out to everybody that tapped in with us, man, here on the Boxing Biz YouTube channel. Also, make sure to check us out on Facebook, IG, X, and all other social media platforms. Friend us, tell a friend to tell a friend. Support the show. Come on, champies. I'm here for y'all. And, of course, this is a platform where y'all get to, talk your talk, boxing talk, listen to the updates on all the fights and boxing landscape. And we duly appreciate when you guys hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell if you like what you're listening to. It really helps us get the show out there, and it's been really growing. So I really thank you guys. We've been actually steadily, day by day gaining ground on subscribers. Every day I'm seeing more and more subscribers. So really duly appreciate you guys supporting me, man, and allowing me to get up here early morning and talking this boxing talk. So let me get back around, see what else we had. So we talked a little bit about the Crawford, and matter of fact, let me tap in to see if there's anything else here while I leave you guys with a little bit of dinner time with Canelo Alvarez, Turk, and Terence. Let me see what I got here. Give me a second. Yes. There we go. Okay. I'll go ahead and exit. And this is the dinner that you guys were all clamoring about. Look at Canelo's chin. Look at Canelo's left arm that's showing towards the camera. Just look. Look at the size difference right there. Stop playing with me. Canelo, could you please pass me the flan? Terence, no problem. Well, guys, we're going to have a wonderful fight. No Tom and Jerry fights, okay? It will not be tolerated. Turki, Tío Turki, you don't have to worry. We're going to give you a good show. Huge payday. Oh, shit. Call me the champy. Funny as hell, bro. But I know you saw how much bigger your man Canelo is, bro. I'm looking at them right now, and I'm just... Yo. Am I the only one seeing this? Am I really the only one seeing this? Look at his head, bro. Look at his head. Your man's head is way bigger than Terence's. Arms, bigger. Shit. Back even looks bigger. Nah, bro. That's what I was taking from this. Shit. The more and more I get to see these guys up close, the more and more I get to see what's going on here. Canelo looked like he ate an extra order of tacos this night. He had the Wagyu tacos. That's what he was having. Looking extra big and shit. Oh, man. Take that shit off. All right. Besides that, right? Think I might have anything else in the boxing landscape. Oh, yeah, man. I should mention this, of course. Galal Yafai racks up another dub at flyweight. So, how far is he away from title contention? Sometimes we don't give the attention, the rightful attention to these lower weight classes, man. But I kind of caught the Galal Yafat fight slightly. Like I was doing stuff in the morning while I was trying to watch it. But it looked to me like domination from Galal. He was able to stop his guy, I think Gatsu, if I'm not mistaken. And, took the dub. And we're trying to see when are we going to see him in the title contention. Don't know too much about, as much as I should know about the lighter guys. But I know that he was in a position, right, to put himself in line for a title contention. Shout out to UK, too. I really wanted to cover this fight, guys, but the morning was just too sporadic for me, and it was full of curveballs, so I wasn't able to get to it. And if you guys know who I'm talking about, he was able to beat Sonny Edwards. And, Sonny Edwards, good mover, and able to beat him. So he's beating some good guys in that weight division, legitimate guys. So don't know when he's going to be in the title contention. He's a 9-0 fighter, so fast track for sure. Bringing him along on the fast track, on the Lomachenko fast track. And, yeah. My man Tycho TV says Canelo got a chrome dome. Terence Crawford got a peanut head. Yeah, champ. I know you see it, right? Look at him. Look at that. Canelo's head, bro. He got the John Travolta. My man got the John Travolta. And then, shit. Terence got, what's my man? Not Chris Tucker. What's my man's name, man? Played Pookie in New Jack City. Got smacked by Will Smith. Bro, I be losing it sometimes. Acting like I don't know who that. I know who that is, but the name slipped my mind, so sorry. Anyway, I thought he had a peanut head, so yeah. And so who does Turkey Big Bag look like? Turkey Big Bag looked like the boss. The boss in John Wick. If you guys caught John Wick. I think it was the John Wick with Halle Berry when he's in the desert. And he had to go meet the one that stands above the table. Right? Remember that shit? Like everybody works under the table. You know what I'm saying? Everybody serves the table. John Wick, no? Any John Wick fanatics out there? Yeah, so Big Bag Turk looking like the one that stands above the table over here. Having dinner. And there was other people there. It wasn't just them two. It was the whole promotional team, probably the camps and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Bomac was probably there killing shit too. Shit, some good food they got out there. Turk gets all Wagyu all day. Imagine the spread, right? I don't know. I can't see it from here exactly what the spread was, but imagine what the spread was looking like. Beluga caviar, Wagyu tacos. Yo, shit's nuts. Tycho TV says Roach is claiming Tank ain't signed the contract for the rematch yet, and the beefing on Twitter. Oh shit! You know we hopping on that. What you mean, Tankaroni and Lamont is beefing, bro? What they talking about? What do you mean the contract ain't signed? Who ain't signed the contract? Tank ain't signed the contract. Yo, Tank is playing games, bro. If that's the case, he playing games with him. He's going to play them A-side games with him. I'm telling you. Tank coming a different way this time around, bro. He was mad respectful. And you guys got to see it, right? Because they know each other, you know. Y'all seen the whole press conference when Mama Roach was there. You know, Javante, you know, real respectful. Was like, nah, I can't be talking too much shit. Mama Roach is there. You know what I mean? Mama Roach is there. Tycho TV said they. Yeah, I got you. Tycho TV laughing emojis. Big Bag Turk. I'm telling you, bro. Big back. Big back. Tycho TV, you crazy. But Tycho TV, I was saying big bag. You said big back. I'm calling them Turkey Big Bag Alalshikh. You feel me? If you heard it here first. You know what I'm saying? I'm the king of that shit. I'll give you the illest name, bro. Turkey Big Bag Alalshikh. But you talking about in this picture, he's big back. I get it. He's definitely big back in this picture. Let's see what Javante Davis is saying over here. I have no idea. Where is it? So they're going back and forth, huh? Well, who? I don't see shit. I don't see shite. JJ, I'm talking about JJ from the city. Where is he at? I don't see nothing. Send me a link, bro. I'm not reading Javante's fucking all his shenanigans on Twitter. I don't see anything. I don't see nada. I see somebody beefing with Boxing Kingdom. KO of the year for 2025. We will visit the house in Upper Marlboro. Let's just look at the replies then. Maybe he replied back to Lamont. There we go. Look at Lamont Rhodes Jr. He going to sleep this time. Damn. Okay. I see Lamont saying he's going to go to sleep 1 hour ago. Okay. Where did he say he didn't sign the contract? Wait, Tank said he gonna pull up to Roach Kid's school and beat his ass. Oh, so that's what Marlboro is? Oh, we will visit that house in Upper Marlboro. Lamont, your father, Mr. Prospect. Watch your tone before he makes you wobble again. Damn. So he talking about going to Marlboro. Why I'm so upset on DC Ninjas calling around. How he get that? I'm the one. They're talking mad shit. I want to see where he says you ain't signed the contract. Might I have to go to Lamont's? Let's go to Lamont's. We're searching right now. I want to see what the shit talking about, bro. Because if the contract ain't signed, the hell are we doing? The fuck? Thought I was getting the number 2. Man, this A-side antics, bro. Ryan Hong says, Doomy, do you eat grass? Finished meat? Paul. Grass-fed, champ. Yeah, I try to, man. You know when I go to the spot, get my carnita and shit, I'm trying to get, grass-fed. Trying to get the healthy shit, you know what I mean? Growing up, it wasn't always... Man, growing up, I didn't even know what organic was. I didn't know what the hell you was talking about. I wouldn't have known anything about organic when I was growing up. You know what I mean? It's only when you get to this age that you get a little smarter and you really think about, spending a little more money on grass-fed beef is better than going to buy a Gucci sweater and shit and then eating fucking, stuff that ain't good for you, right? Canned food and all that shit. Like, when you're young, you're little, you didn't know shit. You eating what they giving you too, so... But yeah, grass-fed all day, Champy. That's how we do it. Tycho TV say, I got you. All right, Champy. See what you can get, man, because say it ain't so. I ain't following. Oh, this is the other account. Okay. All right. We're going to follow my man right now. Because Doomy got 2. He got the Boxing Biz X account and also Alex Doomsday, right? TBB. So check me out on IG for my personal. But What are we talking about here? Oh man, I gotta follow my man Richard and Barboza. What the fuck? I gotta ramp up my friendships in X. Yo, Lamont. All right, I see what you're talking about, Tycho. So Lamont Jr. got this up, right? He got this video up of Lamont clipping Gervonta Davis. Says you don't have to go looking for cuz at any schools. When he was in your face, he punched you right in your shit. Sign the contract. You're making B-More look bad. And apologize to Calvin and ask him to take the lead again. Damn. Now, who's this? Buried in gold. Oh, shit. I guess there's big trouble in Little China for Gervonta Davis and his camp, yo. How he took Calvin. Yo, see, this is the thing about when you have multiple trainers in the corner, right? When you got multiple trainers in the corner, either it works or it doesn't. You feel me? Either it works or it doesn't. And from what I was seeing, Gervonta Davis, his last fight with Lamont Roach, he had two coaches giving him different instructions, and I don't know if I like that dynamic. I'm not saying that Coach Cal and Barry are not amazing coaches. I'm just saying, can they be amazing when there's other heads in that group? You feel me? Like, if there's more than one trainer, can you be great? Can you collaborate? See, it's all chemistry. There's some guys that can work great together. You know what I'm saying? There's other guys that work okay together. And then there's other guys that can't work together. I've seen it in the boxing gyms too. You see this shit happen in the boxing gyms all the time. Coaches end up arguing, fighting with each other. Oh, no, this is my fighter. He got to do this. Nah, but I told him that. And it just creates a lot of confusion for the fighter, bro. You feel me? So it's like, is that something that was working out for Gervonta, right? Or he just feels like Barry taking the lead, if that's the coach, right? Because he had Barry and Calvin in his corner. So if he's telling Barry, I mean, Calvin been with him from the beginning. Calvin. Not that Barry didn't know him either. They both known him since he was a kid, and they both trained him. But when you got two guys at the same time and they're not synced up, that shit could go against you as a fighter. And honestly, when I saw Barry and Calvin in that corner, I was like, damn, Gervonta's worried. Like, you had to bring out double dose and shit, two coaches, in order for you to get that confidence or to have like more advantage. Two coaches. I never saw that. I never saw that for Gervonta. And even when we see like Terence Crawford in the corner, right? You see the way they move in that corner. Usually there's one guy talking, the other guys, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, it's an art, man. When your fight is coming back to that corner, you got to, bro, it's got to be a very, very, how do you say, calm. You got to create such an environment for that 1 minute for that fighter. Because remember, not only are you giving instructions, but you're also making sure that physically you're doing the most to get your guy's energy meter back up. You know what I mean? So, you got 1 minute to do this, to do all of that. It takes skill, bro. That cornering a fighter's corner ain't about no bullshit, man. Especially if you love the dude, man. You know what I mean? And care about him. You got to make sure everything's legit. And, if this is it, if this is something that's true, because I don't know how much stake I could put on it, right? Buried in gold, don't know you, but, shout out for you kind of putting it out there. Lamont, re-exed it, so why not believe, right? Say he going to sleep this time. Lamont, your father, Mr. Prospect, watch your tone before he makes you wobble again. Yeah, I'll talk about in it. I'm actually fight. Let's see. I'm going to pull Orion and say he not fit or some shit. Shit. The trolling stars of Lamont talking shit. saying that don't pull a Ryan Garcia. Gervonta scared as shit of the 1X. Do your big one. This is all X shit, man. We'll see what's going on. What really concerns me is, did you sign the contract? Shit. Did you sign the contract? I don't care about nothing else. All that shit talking. I just want to make sure this fight is super legit for the dates they talking about. You know? I mean, it could be they're hatching out, more things within the contract. Probably still negotiating it, or maybe, just kind of like smoothing out the last of the wrinkles in that contract. Who knows? We'll find out, though. We'll find out. And shout out to everybody again, bro. Man, listen, appreciate you guys always tapping in here on the Boxing Biz podcast show. Of course, early morning road work. Right up the middle. Early morning, put it on the griddle. My cheese, yeah, in the middle. It's like, nah, let me stop. Bars. Pasture raised eggs and grass. Do me, you got my man Ryan Hong. Pasture raised eggs and grass fed meat. Yeah, pasture raised, bro. Don't get it twisted, man. No. And this is a side topic, right? But you got to know your eggs, bro. Your eggs even got a date of when they were made. Like, you'll know how old your eggs is. Look at your egg boxes. Making sure you take a look at all the numbers. Excuse me. Sound like I was wheezing there for a second. You could take a look at all, the numbers on the eggs. But pasture raised, definitely. That's the actual, like, one where they're actually pasteurizing and they're moving around and shit. So, yeah, you got to watch out. Man, I got to go for a run. I don't know what the hell. I hope I'm not coming down with anything. Jeez. Got a little wheeze going. My man Goofy Slayer. Yeah, I like the name. My man out here slaying them goofies.
Fatality. Finish him.
There you go. Goofy Slayer says, Bud got it. He got it good. Old school boxing. Dion. Shout out to the homie. Shout out to Watertown, Wisconsin in the building. Old school boxing. Cheer. Yeah. So we got Lamont Roach, right? We got Lamont Roach talking his shit. Gervonta Davis talking his shit. But what we really want to know is, did you sign the contract, my boy? Did you sign it? That's what we want to know. Let me see. Okay, where are we with this? You know what? Okay. Looks like there's no update right now going on with any contract talk between any of the people here. We'll get more info coming in about this whole contract, whether they sign it or not. But while we're talking on that topic, though, I'm really trying to see another outcome, for Gervonta. But honestly, guys, like, I don't think he does. Roach signed the contract already. Gervonta hasn't, bro. And of course, I had to tap into the sources. And according to Sports Illustrated, there's still no contract signed for this rematch, with Davis' side reportedly holding things up. A common reason cited is that Davis is observing Ramadan and negotiating are on pause for now. Huh. Okay. I'm going to have to see where that came from. Yeah, Roach already signed. I'm signed and sealed, so we're waiting on the other half. That's all. That's Lamont Roach. Promoter Gary Jonas says the rematch is a done deal. Just waiting on formalities. I knew it. Formalities, aka just a little slight shit. You know, what color gloves and how big ring. Who knows? Just a small shit. But that seems premature considering no official confirmation from Davis's camp. Stephen A. Smith says something, but timeline, okay. Bout. Roach's appeal denied. Yeah. Completed. Davis's team is not likely. Promoter confirms Roach is on board. Yeah, I mean, listen, it could be like Gary Jonas says, formalities, or if there's just might be just you know, some A-side tactics, man. Getting into Lamont Roach's head. It's playing games, bro. Playing games. Man, Ryan says Bud Def got this. As long as he doesn't get robbed, we good. Lamont schooling Tank again. Yeah, I don't see anything else different. Like, how much more explosive can you be? Fast can you be? You know, this is really ring IQ, bro. This fight is ring IQ. If there's any a time that we really wanted to see a Gervonta Davis show us every piece of skill that he has, is in this rematch. Lamont got his number, bro. Lamont has his number. I don't know what else he can do besides knock him out, you know? And he has to land those punches. Lamont Roach already, he felt Tank's power. And they've known each other, right, for a long time. Bang! They know what it feels like. But, you know, sparring, obviously, and sessions that happen in the youth, totally different now. Tycho TV says Gervonta playing games. Yeah, he's playing games, bro. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying this fight not happening. You know how terrible this would look for Gervonta Davis if he fucking decides to play duck games? He'll never recover from that. Be over. Like, imagine that. Nah, not happening at all. It'll take him out at the knees as far as career. It'll be definitely Lamont Roach will be, you know, his I guess his I'm not gonna say master, but like that's gonna be Pops and shit. You know what I mean? The one that got your number. You can't let him get that. Not happening. Gervonta Davis playing formality games, and we'll stay tuned. Keep our ears to the grindstone, right? Nose to the grindstone. Ear to the ground. And what else I have for you guys this morning? I think that's it. And of course, we always come back around for an afternoon show. I'm trying to really get this 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock show on lock. But obviously, you know, along with the personal schedule and everything, guys, I'm really trying to like fit it in. So just stay locked in. Notification bell. Please hit that notification bell because then you'll know exactly when we're going live. Hit that subscribe. And, of course, smash that like button. And make sure to tune in and keep the program out there. Telling a friend to tell a friend, right? I'm trying to see if I missed anything else this morning for you guys. But obviously, plenty of stuff happening on the boxing landscape. So much stuff. We talked about Israel. I mean, we could talk a little bit about you know, Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder. I know Wilder's got some business he's handling with Tyrone Hedron, if I'm actually saying that name right. I'm actually going to look it up. I hate murdering. Well, not hate, but I really dislike murdering names. All right? Don't like it. Where are you? There's so many Wilders in boxing. But, yeah, Tyrell Anthony Herndon. Okay, so it's Tyrell, not Tyrone. So, yeah, he's got some business there. But, just talking about all these fights that we've missed along the way, Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder was one of those fights that we didn't get to see. It marinated for so long, and then, boom, it was taken from us, right? Tyson Fury came in, disrupted the whole heavyweight division at that time, and that fight is gone, right? We're not going to see that fight anymore. And, there's talks of that fight still happening. And AJ, according to Eddie, will retire next year, right? So right now there is like a race to try and make this fight and maybe a couple of other fights that we really wanted to see. But, from what we can recall in all the conversations that we've had in the boxing community back in, 2022, I think it was, that we were supposed to get that fight, and we never did. And it left a bad taste, right, in the boxing community's boca. And we would love to see that fight. And you could just, it could be a possibility that there's a showdown. Now, of course, Deontay Wilder has to handle business, make sure that he's not he's not getting knocked out of the box for another fight like this. But if he wins, of course, man, I would definitely tune in. Definitely tune in to one of these fights. Let me see what I got here a little bit more. So yeah, I mean, this is Eddie saying that by 2026, he strongly feels that AJ will be out of there. And possibly this fight can still happen, man. I think we still can possibly see a Deontay Wilder and AJ fight before AJ takes that walk. Joshua's been, he's been under surgery. He had elbow surgery. And he feels very good and promising on his comeback, right, before the end of 2025. Now, who does he fight before the end of 2025? Is there a touch-up fight sort of thing that needs to happen? We would have to look at that heavyweight boxing landscape to see, like, what kind of fight can we come back to after an elbow surgery? Who knows? Anthony Joshua, number 5. Okay, he's number 5. He's still got some positioning, at least in the IBF. I think IBF and WBO, he's number 6. So, he could come back to... Yeah, he could come back to... Zhele Zhang, no. See, the thing is with Anthony, man, I don't know, man. Anthony Joshua, I feel like he's like that broken toy that it doesn't work. You know what I mean? I'm sorry if that's a sad way of putting a description on it, but like, I don't know, man. It's just like, Dubois knocks him out. After Andy clipped him the way he did, I just felt like he was, like his punch resistance is just not there. And then, Usyk, also did his number. I don't know. But then again, you got Deontay Wilder, who's been losing too. These are two guys, bro, that at their prime, and when they were at the top of the echelon of the division, they were the guys that, you were scared of, It's just that they're not those guys anymore. Obviously, it'll be a fight of the eras between him and Wilder. And, Wilder too. He has that knockout equalizer. So in a fight like this, I was clamoring, I was always saying AJ would handle business. I think AJ could win the fight. And I still can. I still feel that AJ could win a fight against Deontay Wilder. But what scares me for AJ is just that punch resistance. I don't think it's there. I mean, Deontay Wilder really hasn't been landing that power bomb the way he should, right? Or the way we would like to see him. So, betting on boxing, betting on Wilder's AJ's boxing ability. I would probably lean towards AJ, even though I feel like his punch resistance is definitely not there anymore. You know what I mean? But Wilder could possibly land one of those bombs and then murder she wrote, you know? So the interest of the fight is still there, you know? The strengths, right, and weaknesses between the both fighters still makes this a very interesting fight. Let's go back to my man Omar Moon says, stop it. Tank is the A side. Tank won the first fight 7-5. Just because he didn't knock him out doesn't mean he lost. I heard Roach hasn't signed because he wants Tank to pay the bet he lost first. Nah, Roach signed, bro. According to sources, man, he's been signed. It's really what's going on with Davis's camp and whatever they got going on. Tycho TV says AJ a shell of himself. Damn, he said the shell. Nakakara. Skywalker Boxeo says, good morning. I still want to see Wilder versus AJ, even though they've been declining. Shout out to Skywalker in the building. Yeah, bro, a lot of us still want it, man. I still would pay to see that fight, bro. I hope you're having a blessed day, Skywalker. Continue it, and appreciate you tapping in with us here on the Boxing Biz podcast show. Getting that early morning road work in. You know, it's always duly appreciated. All you guys stopping in. My peoples from IG, X, on the Boxing Biz, the YouTube channel, and of course Facebook. Can't forget my Facebook family. Appreciate each and every last one of you guys, man. You guys been turning up the numbers and really making them, the show move. So really appreciate it. Again, trying to bring this up, man. Trying to be here every day for y'all. So go looking out on the support. So, yeah, that was just a notable mention of topics for Anthony Joshua, right? Excuse me. And I guess I'll give you some quotes from the article on Sky Sports. Deontay Wilder fights next week. I know he's a name that's been mentioned. This was Joshua's promoter, right? We all know, Eddie Hearn. And he was talking to Sky Sports when he was saying this. There is a potential that AJ could fight Deontay Wilder in October, November, December, and then fight Tyson Fury. And then he's kind of got the full set in terms of every elite heavyweight of this generation he's faced in the ring. AJ will return during that period this year, and obviously he must win, and that performance will tell us a lot about the future of Anthony Joshua. I guess so. I mean, he believes Fury could still come out of retirement. I don't know how that will happen. My man, Tyson Fury's chilling, bro. Good life, good family. Did it all. I don't know how he would come back. I would like to see him fight, I would like to see him fight Usyk again, I guess. Try to get that back, But I don't know. Daniel Dubois versus Usyk is going to, again, shake it up too, bro. Shit, Daniel wins that Usyk fight. Whoo! It's crazy. UK is going to go bananas if that happens. Bananas in pajamas. So Eddie goes on to say, so for me, the Tyson Fury fight has to happen. I think there's no excuse now why that shouldn't happen. I think people are tired of hearing about it. I'm going to have to change my voice into the Eddie voice. Let's just get them in the ring. To see those two in the opposite corner would be an iconic moment for not just British boxing, but British sport. First things first, our comeback begins October, November, and December. And then hopefully, Mr. Fury is ready to rumble in 2026. Yo. So Eddie's predicting it, right? So October, November, December. Possible fight with Deontay Wilder. Ding, ding, ding. yeah, I'm coming back around at lunchtime, and we'll tap into this a little more. Damn, Anthony Joshua comes back to a Deontay Wilder fight. I mean, this is Eddie talking. You know what I'm saying? It's Eddie talking this talk, bro. Gotta take Eddie's words at face value. So if he comes back in October to a Deontay Wilder fight, Deontay Wilder's fighting this guy over here. Daniel Dubois was in September. Now it's September, October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May. Damn! Anthony Joshua's been out the ring for a while. Yeah. Bro. That's going to be a year out the ring. Meanwhile, you got Deontay Wilder, who has a fight in June. And then it'll probably take off another 4 months, right? June, July, August, September, October. Damn. I don't know if that's happening. That's bullshit. Anthony Joshua has to get a fight like now. Like, you've been out the ring for a long time, champ. I mean, if Anthony Joshua feels like he could come back to Deontay Wilder fight after a year layoff and knock his block off, then hey, you know, guess the confidence is still there. But don't be sleeping on Wilder. I know y'all seen him lose, you know, as of late. But yeah, don't forget that he got that equalizer 100%. 100%. And that's why I worry about AJ, because at any given moment, yeah, you might be a better boxer and all that shit. But if he clips you and that punch resistance ain't there, I don't know about how much you're going to hang in there. Skywalker Boxeo says, yeah, I don't want to see it in 2026. Yeah, he's a wild one. He's a wild one. 2026. But that's the Mr. Fury Rumble in 2026. You dig? He's saying that Anthony Joshua is going to come back 2025 in October. So, you know, he says there is a potential that AJ could fight Deontay Wilder in October, November, December, and then fight Tyson Fury in 2026. I mean, he didn't say that exactly, but, you know, in the second sentence, he goes on to say that Tyson Fury Rumble would be in 26, right? So first things first, our comeback begins in October, November, December, and then hopefully Mr. Fury is ready to rumble in 2026. So, again, we'll be with the potential fight, him coming back to a Deontay Wilder in 25. I'm just saying, like, you've been out the ring, Anthony Joshua, for about a year if you're thinking about coming back in October. So, it's just, you know, just a thing of being active and staying active. We know how important that is. So, what's going on over here? Do we come back to Deontay Wilder, who, if he's victorious, would have already, you know, stayed active and had a fight? And I don't know how much y'all know about Tyrell Anthony Herndon. I'm going to have to look at a couple of his fights because, honestly, I don't know too much about him. I know he lost to Richard Torres. So, you know, I'm pretty sure Deontay Wilder will be able to handle business. You know, Richard Torres being one of the smaller heavyweights, which still has a promising career. You know, Richard Torres has kind of been coming along with more fights in the last year or two, a lot more often, a lot more active. And he beat Mr. Herndon. So I guess this is an stay active fight for Deontay, right? Since his Zule Zhang fight was last year in June. So literally it's been a year for him, for Deontay Wilder, since he's fought. So he's been out of the ring for a long time as well. So, yeah, you know what? So, okay. I mean, I guess Wilder, you could say, is coming back from a year layoff to fight a guy like Tyrell Anthony Herndon. And Anthony Joshua is going to be the type of dude to come back and fight a Deontay Wilder on the year layoff. So Anthony Joshua again, taking a little bit more risk in preparation, but still a fight that a lot of us want to see. Ryan Hong says Wilder NyQuil in his right hand expired years ago. Nah, Champy, it hasn't expired. Trust me, man. I think that what has expired for Deontay Wilder was that aura and air of invincibility that he carried. Same thing with Anthony Joshua. Same thing with Tyson Fury. When you're beaten, it just that air of invincibility, right? Which helps you out a lot, bro. It's that confidence, right? It's that confidence you're coming in with. It's not the power, bro. The power is still there, man. It's the confidence, and it's all a state of mind now for these guys. It's a state of mind for Anthony Joshua, for Wilder, for Fury, for guys that have been at the top and then lose it, and lose a few times like they have, getting knocked out. It's all state of mind. And to be fair, right? Like, again, guys, we put so much stake on that. But Deontay Wilder gave us 42 knockouts. 42. He has 4 losses on his record. Like, this is all a mind game at this point. Anthony Joshua, same thing. Same thing. Anthony Joshua, beat guy after guy after guy after guy, and gave us, championship medal, good fights. These guys are, they still have the skills, but it's the state of mind. How do you come back from a knockdown? Look at Devin Haney. Ryan Garcia knocked him down. We were all worried about the comeback, Dev passed with flying colors. Obviously, we would have liked him to use more colors in that ring because that shit was a little boring, but he handled business. Beat the hell out of Ramirez's body. He handled business, right? But what I'm saying is that you saw that reluctancy to step into the fire, And when that happens, that could kind of diminish some of your offensive confidence, right? As a boxer coming in to a fight. So it's a state of mind for these fighters more than anything, bro. That power, definitely still there. That power is not going anywhere. So possible fight, Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua for this year, last quarter of 2025. And maybe we can get that fight that all of us missed out on. And I'll start taking picks now, too. So shout out to the chat. Get active, because I want to see who's who and where you at right now. Because I'm going to remember your pick right now. So for sure, let me actually put the poll up, too. I'm going to have my receipts. So stay, and I know that the X family, of course, and Facebook family probably won't be able to see the poll since it's on YouTube. But I'll ask you guys the same thing. Who do you guys think that will be victorious in a rematch between Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder? We obviously have a lot of time for this fight to happen. And it's just a barometer right now. I need to see where y'all are at. I need to see where your mind is at right now. Shout out to Dio. Glad you're back, champion. I'm glad I'm back too, bro. Kicking it with y'all on the boxing airwaves. Dio on the return says, I'm getting nervous for Crawford. Those scorecards only going one way. Ooh. Don't be scared, homie.
Let's go, champ. You feel me?
Don't be scared, homie. You see the picture, right? Let me bring the picture back up. Y'all are getting scared. Y'all are getting scared. You guys are finally seeing it for what it is. Damn, yo, the WBC tournament's still going on. I'll probably go back and see it. That's what I love about the zone. You got Buznegos and Chappelle, round 1 right now. WBC Grand Prix. Shout out to the ring. The zone Riyadh season. Big bag. Turkey big bag Alalshikh. Making shit happen everywhere, yo. Fuck. Let's see. We're going to go ahead and put that up there. Stop screen. Where's my poll at? There we go. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. Honestly, dog, I'm still going for AJ. I'm still going for AJ, bro. Where's the poll at? You know I'm the one man, one army. All I got is one mic, one mic. Who will win in the anticipated, right? Because we anticipating this shit like a motherfucker. Anticipated matchup between AJ and Wilder. So you guys tell me who will be the one, right? We'll leave this poll up there for a little bit too, since we cooking this morning. You know what I mean? We cocinando this morning, champ. Champ. You know I'm going to eat that hash brown soon. Who will win in the anticipated matchup between AJ and Wilder? I got AJ. I got my money. I got my big bag on AJ, champ. AJ. Shout out to my man Omar Moon. Says Joshua KO in 1. Damn. Omar said in the first round. How you gonna say that? Easy Wilder, no footwork, doesn't use his reach. He won't touch Joshua. Bro, you are ruthless this morning.
Finish him.
Damn. I gotta tweak that soundbite. That shit sound like a fucking like Lord Zed from Power Rangers. Yeah, no, I don't think it happened. I don't think it happens in round 1, champy. Fuck. Give Wilder some more credit, bro. You trolling. Stop playing. Yeah. Tycho TV says big back turkey. Yeah. It's turkey big bag. Not to be confused with Turkey Big Back Alalshikh. I mean, we could use both, man. We clowning, bro. Shout out to the Sheik, man. I hope he has a sense of humor, right? The man's human like us and wants to see great boxing matches. I could kick it with you, champ. A little lemon water. Big back. All right, so the poll's up there. And I'm already getting that 100% for Joshua. So I want to see some more votes on these polls, bro. Don't let Omar be right. Omar's talking about KO in round 1. Fuck out of here. Shit ain't happening like that. D.O. says, I heard Bakram will fight Josh Kelly on the Bud undercard. Didn't Kelly lose to Avanesian? Yeah, I think Josh Kelly did lose to Avanesian. But where did you get that updated info, champ? Bakram on the undercard? Okay. Where are we getting that from? That's a good fight. It's a good fight. For sure. I'm going to have to find out where that came from. Josh Kelly, pretty boy, Josh Kelly. Honestly, dude, I don't, damn. If Josh Kelly, you're talking about Josh Kelly, right? Bro, that's not a good fight for Josh Kelly, bro. That's not a good fight for Josh Kelly. I mean, it's a good fight for the people, but Not a good fight for Josh Kelly. And he did lose to David Evanesian, for sure, D.O. But it's going to be a hard fight for Josh Kelly. Hard fight. I mean, Josh Kelly's a great mover, you know. Great mover, and he's been learning more and more and more. But I mean, he's going to have to adapt to that Russian style, bro, you know. Josh Kelly's more of like a UK fighter, you know, fighting guys in the UK. I don't know if he's going to have that mettle to stand up the background. A good fight, though. Good mover with a good puncher in Bakram. We'll see how that turns out. We'll keep our ear to the ground and see if that actually turns out to be true, since there's nothing, you know, actually solid about that. But if it can happen, I would watch the fight. I'd just be, I mean, I'm with Bakram all day, but Kelly would be in a really, really crazy fight, bro. Great mover, Josh Kelly, but sometimes I feel he does more moving than punching, you know. Tycho TV says Manny Pacquiao trying to make some history if he beats Barrios. Yeah. The simple fact that Pacquiao is back, it just goes to show you, bro, that, you know, in this life, you know, it's just never too late, right? I lie. It can be too late. But it's guys like Manny Pacquiao and the thing, you know, what he's doing now that gives us that inspiration, right, to be able to do things in later stages of life. Fighting is hard, bro, at the later stages of life. It's hard. You know, everything that he's doing right now is probably 2-3 times harder. So think about that. Manny Pacquiao right now, the running he's doing, the exercising, the sit-ups, everything that he always has done. Even though he loves the discipline, he came back to it. This shit's like twice as hard probably now, bro. When you start to pile on those, you feel me? I mean, Dumatron's 42 right now. And, you know, I'm an up and down kind of with my physique, right? Never get too out of shape. But it's harder, bro. I was telling myself the other day, 3 weeks of, you could say 4 weeks. Fuck it, I'll give it the month. A month of not doing squat. And just kind of hanging out, eating what you want, you know, being less careful than usual. And just like that, dude, weight comes back on, and then we're back on the same rat race, trying to get it down. And it gets harder. It gets harder. Obviously, these guys got facilities, resources, the cryogenic this, masseuse that. So I think for the average Joe, shout out to all my bros out there, man, and ladies. Obviously, it's harder for us regulars to get shit, you know, right, because the resources sometimes are not as large as, let's say, a fighter would have or an athlete. So it gets harder for sure. My man Omar Moon says, I don't think AJ Wilder happens. One will lose their next fight and ruin it. From years of watching boxing, what fight you wish would have happened that never did? For me, it was Fernando Vargas Hopkins. Damn, my boy took it back. That was a good one. Yeah, but you can't say that. The only way this doesn't happen is if Wilder loses to Tyrell Herndon. And that's not happening, champ. That's not happening. I mean, this is boxing. Can never say never, but come on. We know Wilder's going to handle business. And if AJ's coming back, we're not talking about AJ taking the fight in between. AJ's coming back to a fight with Wilder, possibly, according to Eddie Hearn, in October, November, or December. So that shit's going to happen. What fight and what other fight should have happened and never happened? Jeez. Man, we could go back as of late, man. You know? We want to see certain fights happen. We would have liked to see fights happen at the right time also, right? Sometimes fights don't happen at the right time. But thinking about it, you know, who knows? Who knows what matchups, man? You know, we start going down the line, we'll probably come up with a ton of matchups that should have happened that didn't happen. Right? We could go back in the last 5 years, you know. You went back really far back. Shit. What else we got for this? Oh, yeah. So there's not much more to talk about Wilder and Anthony Joshua. Looking at the polls. Definitely seeing Joshua at 100%. So I don't know if you guys, nobody voted for Wilder. Who will win in the anticipated matchup between AJ and Wilder? All Joshua. Ain't nobody got any hope for Wilder. Damn. Shout out to Toluska. I haven't been back to Alabama, bro. I got to go back. Alabama's nice, man. Everybody's cool. Barbecue's great. What was the spot that I used to go to? I think Moon Barbecue in Toluca. I think so. Yeah, I think that was the name of the spot. Moon Barbecue. Very good barbecue. Okay, so what do we got? My man Dio says Lance Pugmire said they're close to making it. Okay. All right, so I guess we're just waiting for the things to get solidified then, man. Shout out to Dio, bro. Cheer. Bringing in the boxing news. Lance Pugmire said it. You know, if Lance talking about it, then yeah, check out Mike's too. See who's got the latest breaking story right now. Tycho TV says 100%. Dio talking about Backroom Kelly. It's unfortunate because Backroom asked Virgil, but Virgil declined due to his hand. Yeah, I like Virgil, bro. See how Virgil would have took that fight. Yo, Virgil takes all the fights, bro. You guys better respect my boy Virgil Ortiz, man. That kid has been showing y'all what he's about. Put some respect on it. One of the fighters that really is taking on everybody, dog. He doesn't run. He doesn't say no. Keep him coming. Bro, when he took the fight with Sergey Boachek, I was like, yo, Virgil is really the real deal, bro. Sergey is a problem, bro, to anybody. That dude, bro, and he takes punches like a zombie. And you know, Virgil took on him. Took on Israel Madrimov. Huh? And nobody was trying to take on Israel. I was scared to take on Israel. Terence took on him first, though. So, you know, you got to give Terence the props. But it gives you that barometer too, right? Virgil Ortiz versus Terence Crawford. You know, if you go back and look at that fight, you can kind of see how some of the strategies that Israel was using, how it worked on both fighters, right? You could see some of the holes, some of the strong points in that fight. But yeah. Virgil beats Boots. Lord Zed in the building says, I got to see Wilder get a dub before I predict the AJ bout. By the way, good morning, champ. Good morning to you, my friend. Salute. Shout out to Lord Zed. Always tapping in with us, man. Yeah, Lord Zed was cooking yesterday, too. Appreciate you always, bro. And make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Again, guys, hit that like button. Smash. Hit that notification bell. And, of course, hit that subscribe button. And let's get this show up and up, all right? You know how we work in this. We work in this algorithm. This algo. Virgil Ortiz. Tycho TV says Virgil versus Boots at 154. Yeah. Yeah. Virgil's been taking some hard fights, though. And I'm pretty sure Virgil would take this fight, too. That's the type of fighter Virgil is, bro. So I'm saying, man, you got to have fighters like that ain't ducking. They ain't worrying about no formalities and all this light shit in the contract. Let's fight. Let's get paid. Let's get it. Yeah, Virgil Ortiz, Jaron Ennis. Yeah, but they got a lot going on in that WBC, bro. That's what I'm saying. Sebastian Fundora, you know, he's got the fight with Tim. So I don't know what happens there. Sebastian stays with the win, then maybe he can face Virgil for the interim. And then from there, then I guess either or Virgil or Sebastian would be in that position. I feel like Virgil will handle business with Tszyu or Sebastian. Excuse me. But that's the position that he would be in to get that fight, right? Virgil would be right there. And but Jaron's coming up. See, Jaron's got to come up soon. And that he'll be waiting a little bit for that WBC. We'll see how the boxing landscape opens up, champ. So all we can do is wait. Dio says stop the cap. WBO Prez said Virgil declined 2 offers to challenge Bud at 147. There's a pattern emerging. Ding, dun, dun. So he said WBO Prez said Virgil declined 2 offers to challenge Bud at 147. That's the WBO. Yeah, I got to look into that too, Dio. You feel me? He declined 2 offers to challenge Bud at 147. What were the offers and what time was that? DK, a pattern emerging. What? He's ducking? He's ducking? He ain't ducking. Just told you that Virgil don't duck. Well, I gotta look. Yeah, I gotta look into that, champ. Virgil don't duck nobody, champ. There must have been something with the money or the timing, maybe an injury. But who knows? Because Virgil Ortiz is not known for ducking, right? We'll find out why he turned down those offers. Might be not enough money. Remember, he's fighting Terence Crawford, bro. You got to offer me a big bag. You know? Can't be offering me low money to fight a Terence Crawford and expect me to just take it. Shit, I'm fighting Terence Crawford. Better pay me bank. WBO. We'll find out. We'll find out, champy. Trying to see if there's anything else to cover this. Now, look, you could be saying, the WBO had confirmed, right, that he declined twice. Baco, Baco went out and said that on 2 occasions. We got to see why. Maybe he was trying to pursue other fighters instead, Maybe he wanted to develop a little bit more. Fair. That's fair. You know what I mean? Maybe the money or the timing just wasn't there. Like, just because you turned down an offer don't make you a duck. That's the thing, bro. Yeah. Y'all sometimes get it twisted, bro. Like, I don't need to take the fight on your terms. Fuck out of here. Like, shit got online. You know what I mean? So some of this duck talk ain't no duck talk. Y'all got the menu fucked up. It ain't duck on the menu, all right? It ain't chicken. It ain't beef. It ain't none of that. You just don't want the plate. I don't want the plate. I don't care what you put on it. I don't want it. It's just not aligning. Timing, I'm not hungry right now. You know what I mean? They all have their priorities, right, for their own career. And then who knows? Maybe Terence Crawford also had some qualms or some discrepancies that he didn't want or like in those contracts, But Ortiz has been there saying he never turned down Crawford. So, I'm gonna take it at face value. This is something Paco was saying, right? Paco don't know probably the full details of what was going on. Even though the WBO, right, and a couple of insiders are saying that, but we don't know who who the other insiders are. We just know Paco said it, right? And, again, developing, evaluating the options that he might have. And at the same time, while that's going on, Crawford's pursuing other fights. You see where he's at now. Excuse me. Definitely wasn't for fear. Most likely it's just timing, champ. Definitely not definitely Virgil's not a ducko. Dio says Virgil also said he slipped both knockdowns against Boychuk and claimed Boychuk didn't deserve the rematch, even though the majority of fans thought he lost. Bro, like I said, Ziri Boychuk is a zombie. He's a zombie with gloves on. Ain't nobody want that rematch. Nobody. I wouldn't even be mad if he ducked that. Ain't nobody trying to get back into that shit. Hell no. Not with Boychuk. And we could do a fight analysis on that to see what's up with that knockdown. Damn, Dio said Virgil is questionable. Bro, you out here like Jim Carrey with the question man. Wildin'.
You shouldn't talk anymore.
Stop playing, champ. Now, all right. I talked a little bit about my man Verge. All right, guys, Dumatron got to get his breakfast on. I'll be back around 1 o'clock or 3 o'clock. I'm really trying to make this, bro. If not, I always give you guys an evening show. So just stay locked in with me, man, and we keep developing the schedule. Been on it for the last 2-3 weeks, so keep coming on, man, and stating your piece, whether it be on the chat, whether it be on the radio airwaves. Of course, you could tap in with us on the StreamYard link that I post on YouTube. If you're on any of the other platforms, of course, you can call in using X. If you want to follow us on Discord, you can use that too. Make sure you tap in with us on the Boxing Biz Discord. I think number 9661, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got to build the server. Again, guys, just bringing everything together. So we'll be developing this more and more and more and getting things activated. Anybody interested on being a moderator on the YouTube channel, reach out to me through message or on IG. And we'll go ahead and have a sit-down talk, see if we can just bring along some wrenchies out here that are present. Because I hired a couple of mechanics and the wrenches don't show up. You feel me? So appreciate the fan base, man. And when I say fam, I mean fam, right? Not fan. Appreciate the fan base always tapping in and helping me out, all right, as we conduct this show and bring you the latest and greatest in boxing news. Again, this is the Boxing Biz podcast show with your host, Alex Doomsday Linez. You know how it is, man. Dumatron was activated, right?
Dumatron activated.
We'll be coming back around. Dumatron deactivated. Cheers.